Hi Seagull class. Today we're going to be working with fractions, and you're going to be adding fractions that have the same denominators. Now I know it's been a while since you've been working with fractions, so I wanted to do a quick review with you first. So here I have some fractions that I've colored and cut out, and they're so tiny compared to the ones we have at school. But here I have a unit that's been divided into two equal parts. Do you remember what these are called? Halves. Here's a unit that's been divided into three equal parts. Do you remember what this family is called? The thirds. Here is a unit that's been divided into four equal parts. And do you remember what that family is called? These are the fourths. Here I have a unit that's been divided into five equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And do you remember what this family is called? It's the fifths. Now, remember that if we have the family of halves, and we're just talking about one of them, we call it 1 half. If we're talking about two, we say 2 halves. What if we're only talking about one of the family of thirds? It's 1/3. What about if we say 2 of the family of thirds? It's 2/3. And do you remember how we write these fractions? Well, to say 1 half, we write the number above the line that says how many pieces we have. Do you remember what that number is called above the line for a fraction? Remember, it has to do with the Latin word for number, which is numer. It's the numerator. Here, in 1 half, the numerator is 1. Now the bottom number tells us which family we took it from. Remember that this number on the bottom of a fraction has to do with the family name. The Latin word for name is nomen. This is the denominator. So our numerator tells us how many pieces, and our denominator tells us from which family we got it from. Here, I've taken 1 from the thirds family. We call that 1/3. Can you write 1/3 on your paper? The numerator is 1 and the denominator is 3. What if we take 2/3? Can you write 2/3 on your paper? The numerator is 2 and the denominator is 3. What about 1/4? Can you write 1/4 on your paper? The numerator is 1 and the denominator is 4. What do I have here? What is this called? Can you write it down? Can you read this fraction? How do you say it? Can you get your fraction pieces out for this fraction? Now that we've reviewed these fractions, their names, and how to write them, we can move forward with adding fractions with the same denominator. We know that the denominator means the family that it belongs to, so we're going to first learn how to add fractions that come from the same family. For instance, let's say I wanted to add 1/4 to 1/4. Well, you know how to write addition problems. You put the first number down, then an addition sign, and then the second number down, and then an equal sign, just like this. 1/4 plus 1/4. Now we can put these 2/4 together. How many fourths do we have all together? We have 2/4. And so you can write your answer after the equal sign. The answer for an addition problem is called a sum. We found the sum of 1/4 plus 1/4. It's 2/4. What about if I take one of these fifths and also another fifth? Can you write that problem down on your paper? One fifth plus 1/5. When we put them together, we see our answer is 2/5. And this is how we write 2/5. Let's do one more together. What if we take 1/3, so we can write down 1/3, plus 2/3. 1/3 plus 2/3. Do you remember how to write 2/3? Well, when we add these together, when we combine them, what do we have? 3/3. One third plus 2/3 is 3/3. And you might remember from our work with equivalents that this is also like saying 1 whole for 1 unit. Okay, that's all of the fraction practice that I'll do with you for now, and I've attached some fun fraction problems for you to practice, adding fractions with the same denominators. I hope you have fun.